Microsoft just out the complete hardware spec sheet for its upcoming next generation Xbox Series X entertainment system, and the list of hardware can go toe to toe to any modern gaming desktop where just the GPU is more powerful than a Radeon RX 5700 XT, and seeing this level of hardware in a gaming console is something we never seen before. Console must raise anyone anyway because of high performance component Microsoft has chosen. Even at high production scale, it is still unclear if Microsoft can break even at around $500, possibly counting on games and DLC sales to recover some of the cost and turn in a profit. Here in this video, we're gonna look at everything you need to know about Microsoft's upcoming console. Hey, what is up guys, my name is Robin, welcome to Arbin Hardware. I'm your Swedish host and friend with bad posture and poor accent. So Microsoft just unveiled the complete hardware specs of the Xbox Series X in collaboration with two YouTube profiles, Digital Foundry and Austin Evans, and I highly recommend you guys having a look at both videos in case you're interested in the nitty-gritty stuff, and both videos are linked up down below. And in these videos we're offered a closer look at the console and the controller, as well as gameplay demonstrations from a number of games. And in terms of hardware specs, the upcoming Xbox is getting a 3rd gen Ryzen 8-core processor and an RDNA 2 base graphics selection from AMD, and more specifically the processor is based on AMD's latest Zen 2 architecture with the chiplet design with 8 cores and 16 threads, with a clock speed of an astonishing 3.8 GHz with multi-threading or SMT activated, and 3.6 GHz with SMT or hyper-threading active. And this is similar specs to a Ryzen 7 3700X. And thanks to the console's cooling solution, the processor should be able to maintain the clock frequency at 3.8 GHz continuously even during longer gaming sessions. And this is a massive deal because unless you have a very competent cooling solution, modern desktop CPUs often have a hard time maintaining specified turbo clock speeds for longer periods of time, and both AMD and Intel is having a hard time reaching their clock speeds over time. And now seeing AMD being able to deliver this much CPU power at these high clock speeds really shows how far Ryzen and the Zen architecture has evolved over time since it was introduced back in 2017. Now out of these 8 cores, 7 are available for developers, while 1 core is reserved for the operating system and other background activities. And as for the graphics unit, this doesn't disappoint either, and we're seeing twice the performance increase to its predecessor, the Xbox One X, and previously confirmed the GPU is fueled by the RDNA 2 architecture with ray tracing and DXR interface 1.1 support. Now, as previously confirmed, the console also gets dedicated hardware to take care of the 3D accelerated sound, and this is also a huge part of the upcoming consoles. Both Microsoft and Sony are doubling down on better sound quality. The GPU is equipped with 3328 shader processors distributed across a total of 52 CUs or compute units, which is a cluster of stream processors, and these are capable of maintaining a clock frequency of 1825 MHz and have a theoretical computing capacity of about 12 teraflops. And I don't think we're never seen GPU clock speeds that comes even close to these figures in a gaming consoles before, which also explains how efficient the cooling solution must be. And in terms of memory, the console is equipped with 16 GB of GDDR6, which connect to the system over a 320-bit memory bus. And out of the total amount of the memory, 10 GB is reserved for the GPU and is receiving a bandwidth of 560 GB per second, and the system standard memory is allocating at 3.5 GB of a total memory pool with bandwidth of 336 GB per second. And the cool thing here is that developers can choose which of these memory resources they want to use. Now the last 2.5 GB of memory is reserved for the operating system. The SSD storage consists of a specially designed NVMe drive with storage capacity of 1 TB. The bandwidth here measures 2.4 GB per second with uncompressed raw data and takes the step up to 4.8 GB per second with compressed data. SSD storage has a relatively high power of 4 watts, and therefore the SSD is also getting its own heat shield. Otherwise it could get pretty hot in there, especially when an NVMe drive is working under heavy load. Now in this video videos from Digital Foundry and Austin Evans also feature gameplay demonstrations showing Minecraft with ray tracing activated. Another title that is also demonstrated is Gears 5, which can run in 4K Ultra HD and 60Hz and 60 FPS with Xbox Series X. The graphics sections corresponds to Ultra level from a PC version. Furthermore, Microsoft also shows that it's possible to play games stored on an external storage device, but not games made for Xbox Series X. And the reason for this is simple. Games designed for the console has a very high bandwidth as a basic requirement, with performance that is not possible to reach on external storage devices, and the interface for external storage device is USB 3.2. And as previously reported, the storage can also be extended with memory cards up to 1 TB, and this is what these memory cards looks like. On Xbox Wired, Microsoft also describes a few other features for the Xbox One X, including the issues with latency, and the company describes how previous generation consoles and controllers communicated every 8 milliseconds, regardless when the system needed to receive commands from the controller. And with the Xbox Series X, the synchronization between console and controller has now been redefined to what Microsoft calls dynamic latency input, and now the system continuously monitors both analog and digital commands, so that already when the system requests new commands, it sounds a bit complicated, but it should allow for even lower latency. The company also confirms that they have achieved this without sacrificing the battery life of the controller. Digital commands have previously been reported at the same interval as analog intervals, which means that they did not take advantage of the immediate feedback. And in terms of wireless communication between the console and the controller, we find the same proprietary Wi-Fi solution that's been used in previous Xbox One consoles, which means that you're gonna be able to hook up your already purchased Xbox One controller and use it on the Xbox Series X. Very nice. Microsoft also describes the communication with the monitor, and the Xbox Series X now communicates over HDMI 2.1 with support for 4K resolution at 120 Hz. And this makes it possible to reduce the latency of communication with the monitor from 16.6 milliseconds down to 8.3 milliseconds without having to lower the resolution. And in case where the screen and the frame rate of the graphics card splits or not the same, simply speak, out of sync, this can now be fixed and synchronized via variable refresh rate. And variable refresh rate works similar to how G-Sync and AMD FreeSync works in the PC space. Finally, Xbox Series X is also confirmed to have an optical Blu-ray reader with support for 4K UHD discs. However, the information we got so far does not reveal whether this Blu-ray supports disc up to 100 GB storage capacity or not, and this is something the PS5 has been confirmed to support. And in terms of pricing, Microsoft doesn't share any information about this. Rumors suggest a $500 price tag. Obviously, I'm going to keep you guys up to date, and when more information comes out, you guys are gonna be the first to know, rest assured. And as for release frame, yeah, we're looking at a late 2020 release around Christmas Eve. Now, I wanna know your thoughts in the comments. Watch either of these two videos for more content, and I will see you over there.